Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bowles Central, the only place on the internet. All your Jeff Bowles entertainment is a scoundrel and a philanderer and a six-gun shooter. And maybe he needs to take a bath and shave and walk into a general store and pick things out on the shelf, Sim style. Because the name of the game today, everybody, is the much anticipated, especially by me, Red Dead Redemption 2. Finally, Rockstar Games has graced us with a sequel to the classic Red Dead Redemption, which of course was a sequel to Red Dead Revolver, but we don't really need to talk about that game. It wasn't a horrible game, but Red Dead Redemption was definitely a step in the, quantum direction. Red Dead Redemption 2 follows on the heels for Rockstar Games of Grand Theft Auto 5, which is still very widely played because of its online mode. And they support that game even still, and in fact there will be an online mode for Red Dead 2 here. But Red Dead Redemption 2, we see Rockstar at its most mature. And I don't want to say, like, mature in the sense of blood and guts and cussing and sex and all that stuff that Rockstar actually is kind of known for. No, I mean stayed. And mature in the sense that your daddy or your granddaddy is mature. This is a different look for Rockstar. The original Red Dead Redemption was very action-oriented. And it was kind of like a Grand Theft Auto set in the West, including all the kind of childishness that went with that, even though that too was a very mature story for the company at that time. But what really surprised me about Red Dead Redemption 2, and like I said, I've been looking forward to this game for many years. I loved Red Dead, the first Red Dead. The thing that surprised me about this game is just how simmy it is. It's like The Sims meets Clint Eastwood or something like that, because in addition to the regular riding and shooting and the Deadeye mode where you can target guys in the face or in the hand or whatever you want to do, and all the the hijinks that you can get up to, you see me robbing a train and stuff like that. The interesting thing about this game is that the simulation is kind of a big part of it. You walk into a general store and you don't just buy from a clerk. You actually go to each individual shelf and pick something out and buy it that way, or like a catalog. You've got to maintain your horse. You've got to feed your horse. You've got to clean your horse. You've got to clean your body. You've got to do all sorts of things that really make it a very different experience for Rockstar Games. And I will say, and it's kind of been talked about a lot online already, it's going to be kind of a slow experience for some people, some gamers who like a more action-oriented, balls-to-the-wall type experience may feel like Red Dead Redemption 2 is a bit slow. I was playing it around Carrie, the wife, and she kind of was remarking about how, wow, this is really simmy. It's like, if you kill an animal, you actually have to skin it, and it shows you kind of in detail what it's like to skin an animal. And I actually kind of appreciate that about this game. I like the fact that rather than just feeling like you're shooting up the Old West, or like having a quick stopover in the Old West, you feel like you're living in the Old West to a certain extent. There's a first-person camera mode. I want you to see this. This is kind of cool. I would never play this whole game in first person because I feel like it's too beautiful and you'd miss all the details, but they do have that included where you can switch to first person anytime you want. And so, for some people, I think that this is going to be a non-starter, and I think that even though financially this game has already performed very well, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, entertainment releases of all time, even beyond something like Black Panther, the Marvel movie, or even Grand Theft Auto 5. It's in the same league as that. But I feel like it's going to be, in the long run, kind of a controversial thing, because there's a lot to love about this game, especially if you are into Red Dead, the original Red Dead, but if you're coming at a Rockstar game, and I've been playing Rockstar games since the very, very beginning. I remember, you know, the original Grand Theft Auto games, the kind of top-down perspective things were kind of groundbreaking, and then nothing was more groundbreaking than Grand Theft Auto 3, which was the game that introduced the open world. And, you know, damn near every single game that comes out these days is open world, and they all trace back to that Grand Theft Auto 3. But people who are fans of the Grand Theft Auto series, because it's so raunchy and so action-oriented and so crazy, they're going to come to this game and they're going to find an experience that's more staid and more stately, and that takes its time to develop things. You play this character, Arthur, who is a part of Dutch's gang. Dutch from the first game is the guy that you're hunting down, because this game here, Red Dead 2, is a bit of a prequel, actually, which is actually very, very interesting that they set it back kind of in time. But you get set into this gang, and you really get an opportunity to know the gang members. You get an opportunity to sit with them at the campfire in your little camp that you make up, because you're a bunch of outlaws. And it's not just men, there's women, there's children. It's like a family, and they treat it like a family, but there's cracks in the family. And you really, really get that right away. And so as a story, as a piece of entertainment, this is definitely the most character-oriented experience that Rockstar has ever put out. And that really will appeal to many, many, many people, especially older gamers. You know, like me being in my mid-30s, I do appreciate a story that takes a little bit longer to set up, but rewards you in all the emotion and all the character drama and all the intricacies of the plot and the actual interactions between the characters. I feel like there is a place for that, even though I also do definitely enjoy a first-person shooter that just goes in there and just, you know, blows everything up and I don't have to think about it. It's an interesting addition to the 2018 gaming landscape, especially since, I mean, look at this, looking at picking out clothes, picking out the colors of clothes. I mean, it's simmy. There's a lot of simulation that goes into it. You feel like you're living in the West. In the year 2018, we've had just a slew of really, really awesome, amazing AAA action titles. And I gotta tell you, when I popped this game in for the first time, I was expecting the classic Red Dead Redemption feel. And it's there, but like I say, it's definitely a different kind of experience. Rockstar really does want you to take your time with this game, appreciate the landscape. It is an absolutely stunningly beautiful video game. Some people are calling it the best looking game of all time. I disagree. It's good looking, but maybe not the best of all time. And maybe that's just because of the size of the world. It's big, but even though it's big, it's focused. So I guess it really depends on what kind of gamer you are and what kind of game you're in the mood for. If you're looking for something that definitely has the action, definitely has the fun, but it does take a little while to develop, and it is more simmy than you might expect, look no further than Red Dead. But if you want something that's more classically, you know, arcadey, if I can use the word arcadey, maybe look at something more like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which we just showed last week, and which actually is a bigger game than this one, believe it or not. But regardless, Jeff Bowl Central is going to give Red Dead Redemption 2, long-awaited sequel, a 9 out of 10. I'm not going to go to 10 territory. It is a masterpiece, but I don't feel like it's perfect for those reasons that I mentioned. It's not going to be for everybody. Mileage may vary. Pick up your hat, Arthur. Scowl at the camera. And let's move on. Hey, everybody, also do me a favor. Buy my book, Brave New Multiverse, a collection, is better than Red Dead. Oh, why not? We'll just make a proclamation like that. It's better than Red Dead. It's funnier, it's crazier, It's R rated, it's X rated, it's triple X rated. It isn't. Bye.